Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So this news comes at a perfect time as this Sunday, part one of a two-part exclusive interview series with an industry executive will be dropping, talking about everything mentioned in this article and of course a lot more. Tesla's master plan part 3 literally comes down to this: the speed of mining and refining, and it's actually far bigger than that. It really is a national security issue, especially when you think about energy security and energy independence, which are huge topics right now. How much is the United States currently sourcing domestically? How much could we theoretically source domestically? What's going on in the political landscape? Who in the world's Antofagasta? National security considerations? And much more. So remember, this Sunday, don't forget. When talking about the new EV rental company Autonomy yesterday, I did fail to mention that they do have a start fee. Now, it is adjustable. You can basically slide the scale and determine what you want your monthly payments to be, and it will adjust the start fee. Think of it like a down payment. However, the deal is of course not as good as I made it sound yesterday. Link will still be below if you want to play around. Also from yesterday, when I was talking about semis having much higher tire pressure than regular cars, I said it was between 70 and 90 PSI. Some truck drivers and others in the comments corrected me. It's actually more like between 100 and 120 PSI. So to everybody who chimed in, thank you, I appreciate it. Yesterday, Tesla Energy had an internal all-hands-on-deck type of meeting, and we learned that we may be getting some new Tesla Energy products as soon as this year. But they also reminded us of how far the energy division has come in just the last 2 years. I'll be the first person to tell you Tesla Energy still has a long way to go in terms of communication with customers, reliability, and all of that. However, just 2 years ago, Tesla Energy was really just a conglomeration of a bunch of third-party materials using different apps, etc. Fast forward to 2021, we get an updated app with Tesla-branded solar panels and Tesla's own Powerwall. And this year, still a question mark what's under here, but easier installations, better aesthetics, and higher performance. The engineer could not reveal specifics just yet, but new pilot programs are coming soon. Tesla also announced it's about to deploy a new interactive layout experience for customers when it comes to actually designing the solar roof layout for your own home. Should be more intuitive and user-friendly with more input from the actual user end. The customer will also be able to tell Tesla where to drop its equipment for the project, and this new portal is going to reduce post-permit redesign requests by 20%, utility rejections by 30%, and average handle time by 10%. As we know, solar roof installations, the main limiting factor has been the time of install and the complexity with each different house. Along those same lines, Tesla is finally starting to produce some of the combustion engine vehicles it's been using for its Tesla Energy fleet for the employees to actually go provide work in the field. So when they pull up to a customer's house, now they'll be driving Model Ys. The plan is to continue electrification by getting Model Ys and 3s to replace every vehicle that they can one for one. This means getting rid of the Chevys and the Sprinter vans, so when we install at a customer's house, we're showing up with a fleet of Teslas. Honestly, all the more reason for Tesla to make an electric van. Historically, they've been using those Sprinters. It's just easier to have all your tools and all the equipment in the back rather than what it was doing with modifying some of the Model S vehicles as you see, but now they're going to modify some of these Model Ys and Model 3s so that their Tesla Energy fleet will be electric. Tesla News uploaded a video saying it has sources inside of Giga Berlin that are saying they saw documents for a new Model Y standard range out of Berlin that will use these new BYD Blade batteries that we reported on yesterday. They had mentioned expected ranges between 280 and 300 miles for this new variant with the BYD Blade batteries. This of course would be pretty significant news if Berlin started to introduce a standard range Model Y, as so far the configurator for Germany still only has the long range and performance. In the report yesterday, it said those Blade batteries would be in Model Ys coming off the production line as soon as the next month or two. So are we going to see a standard range Model Y that soon? It feels unlikely, but we'll find out soon enough. The Guardian picked up Dan O'Dowd's test of FSD beta, and Elon said the Guardian swallows scam video hook, line, and sinker. Here's all you need to know about these tests that Dan O'Dowd ran on Tesla's FSD safety system. At best, it's a poor, unscientific iteration of running these tests, and at worst, it's an outright slander, smear, hit piece that requires Tesla's legal team to ultimately take it down. In case you're new, Dan O'Dowd works for Green Hills Software. Green Hills Software makes platforms for automotive, thus in direct competition with Tesla. O'Dowd basically ran for US Senate to get political cover to run these ads against Tesla. A few months ago, we talked about this in detail. He took out newspaper ads, and now he's spending a bunch of money on this video campaign. Even Elon's now referring to him as the real scam O'Dowd. It's just a confusing situation because in the actual ad itself, you can see from this screenshot, FSD was not even activated. No blue steering wheel, no blue line, so obviously the car is going to run over the test dummy in the road. However, trying to be fair and unbiased, if you go to the raw video footage, which was not part of the ad, you can see at some point, whether in these tests or not, FSD was activated with a blue wheel and the blue line. My simple response would be this: what's happening in the real world? Are children getting run over left and right by FSD beta? The answer is an obvious no. A Tesla PR department does sound a little bit better when you have stuff like this going on. Millionaires, billionaires spending a ton of money on public television ads, literally trying to smear Tesla to the public who doesn't know anything about Tesla and is just essentially gullible, respectfully, and they're going to believe whatever they hear. And you can't blame those people. They don't know any better. They don't have the truth or any context. Just to be clear, in the end, the truth and the technology is going to win out. It doesn't matter how many people try to stop it along the way. However, as I've said many times, as Tesla becomes more public and grows, it's going to face unprecedented backlash from many people, and we all just have to play our small roles in disseminating the truth amongst our circles. At the same time, we have people like Ralph Nader saying that Tesla's FSD is one of the most dangerous and irresponsible actions by a car company in decades. It's just so ironic because Tesla's FSD might save more lives than anything else in history, at least referring to the auto industry. He said, "I'm calling on federal regulators to act immediately to prevent the growing deaths and injuries from Tesla manslaughtering crashes with this technology." Clearly hyperbolic and emotion driven. Have a listen to what Jim Farley just said.
And I have to say, the shining light for us at Ford is this beautiful Lightning made right down the road in Dearborn, right here in the state of Michigan, already the leader of all EV pickup trucks in our industry in the United States. Take that, Elon Musk.
Honestly, I think people are making this a way bigger deal than it needs to be, saying they lost all respect for Jim Farley because of this comment. Look, it just felt like a playful, friendly type jab to Elon. Of course, maybe generate a little media headlines, whatever. Not the end of the world. Elon responded to this saying, "Thanks, but I already have one." Nobody really knows what he's talking about. Let me know what your best guess is. I went back and forth. Was he talking about he already has an F-150 Lightning that Tesla's benchmarking? He already has a pickup truck, referring to the Cybertruck. I don't really know. Alex Sabila had a great tweet sharing some graphics from Climate Connections. Pause the screen if you'd like. I just want to highlight the main 2 points. Gas-powered vehicles, around 80% of the energy input in the original fuel is actually lost to inefficiencies, meaning only around 20% of the original energy ultimately makes it to the wheels. Compare that with an electric vehicle where only around 11% of the energy is lost, meaning around 10% of the original energy actually makes it to the wheels. This often goes overlooked in conversations about are EVs better for the environment and that whole debate, so just another thing to keep in mind. This is one of those things I just believe in my bones. Dr. Jack says, without Tesla and Elon, legacy autos would still be planning on how to cheat emission standards and pollute the environment, versus now where every legacy auto is trying to show how green they are with EVs and renewables. Tesla literally started all of this. The first battery energy storage system using Tesla Megapacks has been installed in the Bronx in New York City. This is a 12 megawatt hour system that does have a solar photovoltaic canopy and infrastructure ready for bi-directional EV charging points. And Tesla, whose Tesla Energy division is definitely still a secondary to Tesla Automotive right now, was still the third largest battery energy storage system integrator globally at the end of 2021. According to IHS Markit. You guys know I'm a sucker for a nice Tesla solar roof video flyover, so let's just take a few seconds and admire this work of art. This should come as no surprise, but some new data from LendingTree is showing that the Model 3 and Y are the most queried vehicles in the luxury segment when people are shopping for auto loans in the United States. Now, sure, you can argue that Teslas aren't luxury vehicles, but they're also definitely not entry-level vehicles, so Tesla, per the usual, is kind of in its own category. Since luxury is pretty subjective anyway, let's just go with it. With 6.6% of all the inquiries made for luxury cars, the Model 3 has the largest share of auto loan queries made on the LendingTree platform. Closest competitor, the Model Y, with a 4.7% stake. This is just one more data point confirming that Tesla is overtaking BMW in the luxury market in the United States by almost all metrics. I won't get into the detail of this article. Basically, it's a conversation between Tesla short sellers kind of explaining their experiences over the past few years. There's some profanity and it's pretty inappropriate at certain times for what I want my channel to be. However, I will include a link below if you want to read it on your own time. There's some interesting comments in there for sure. On August 18th, about a week from today, Acura is going to officially unveil this new EV. They're calling it the Precision, and they're saying this is the future of Acura design electrified. Rivian, Lucid, and a few others have been emailing their reservation holders, telling them that they can sign binding agreements as a way to potentially circumvent losing their $7,500 EV tax credit because of the new Inflation Reduction Act. Remember, this new IRA bill has those caps for automakers, so both Rivian and Lucid would now be disqualified from getting the credits. However, this might be a workaround, but both companies are not 100% positive, so customers are going to have to make the choice, lock in the purchase, give up their refundable deposit, and then there's a slight chance that they still may not get the EV tax credit based on wording and all of that. So just not a great situation for the customer for these companies. Hopefully though, the government will do the right thing and make sure that these customers do get the EV tax credit. It would be very unfortunate to buy a vehicle expecting to get it, then this new bill comes along and all of a sudden you're not going to get it just because you're waiting for your vehicle. Doesn't seem right. Rivian will be announcing its financial results for Q2 after market close today, and the theme is going to be the cash burn of the company and new cost-cutting measures, along with, of course, future production guidance. Sawyer shared this video from the CEO of Xiaomi debuting their Cyber One robot on stage. Now, I don't know much of anything about this company. However, is this a potential barometer of what we should be expecting from Tesla's AI Day, September 30th? Basically just walked on stage, was holding this rose, gave it to the CEO, then did a little kung fu pose, and then kind of posed for a picture. Personally, I don't really care how well these robots can have conversations or interact or any of that. I just want to see how functional they are and fluid they are from a movement perspective. What type of dexterity will it have? Because if this is ever going to be a real thing in factories, those are the things that are going to allow that to happen, not it being able to have an intelligent conversation. Although that's cool for the future and a different use case. My expectations for Tesla are still very low, so I'm not disappointed. However, if I'm being honest, I definitely hope Tesla has something better and more advanced than this. Munro Live dropped some teaser videos. It looks like a full 4680 video dropping on YouTube tomorrow. But as you can see, even with a thin layer of film on this row of 4680s, Corey and the other employee were doing what they can to try to snap it, and they couldn't. So I would say it looks like a pretty structural pack. In the comments, Corey said that Munro is actually going to keep what this pink material actually is for paying customers, so we may not learn exactly what it is, but whatever it is, pretty tough. And Corey uploaded one more little teaser video for the upload tomorrow. As you can see, the 4680s for the most part now broken up. And Sawyer said from a Fremont flyover, it could be expanding with a demolition of 2 office buildings directly across from the factory. I'll include a link to the video below. And just FYI, if you're on Twitter, go super follow this man. He deserves the support. That'll do it for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.